Welcome back, welcome back. On today's episode of Crazy Fucking Things I Find, or, remember, a long time ago, since, I'm, doing all this superhero shit or whatever, a while ago, after that, Dark Knight, I think they called it, the one with the Joker, Heath Ledger, when that movie came out, that was like the Matrix when it came out. Like, that movie was that good. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care about that shit was better than the superhero movies right now. Period. And I haven't even seen them. I seen a couple maybe like fucking 5, 10 years ago, 7 years ago. Maybe, you know what I mean? But I need to freshen up. I gotta see that new Spider-Man too. Oh my god, I'm so missing out on my favorite superhero. But that movie was just directed so good. The scenes were good. The dialogue was fucking phenomenal. You watching that movie, you almost forget you're watching a fucking a comic book movie. Like, that shit was so it was a very good blur between the lines of comic book childhood memories and adulthood. You know what I mean? Like Batman, when you're a kid, they just boom, pow, and gotta save people, and blah, blah, blah. Commissioner Gordon, and everybody knew who the bad guy was, everybody knew who the good guy was, and it was clear as day. You know what I mean? But in the Dark Knight, if that's the right one, that showed the element of how these bad guys get shit done. Like, that movie was about like a lot of regular corruption from the regular people in the city to higher ups and lower ups, and you know what I mean. Like, that movie was like, it was more like you know what I mean. Like, you know how like superhero movies are always. That's why I like Batman too, because he has no powers. He's a regular guy in a regular world. Well, not really regular, but they're superheroes. But in his city, he's just the only guy, and none of them have powers and shit. His villains do, but he doesn't. He has to use his brain to outsmart these guys and what strength he has. You know what I mean? Like, so I always respected that, because my favorite superhero was Spider-Man, but I've always liked Batman as like my secondary, because when I think of superheroes, I my brain goes to superpowers. I want to pick superpowers. I'm not gonna pick Batman. He has no superpowers. So when I hear superhero, I'm picking a superhero. Now, Batman is a superhero because for a man, he does super things like defeat Superman, the only mortal man, the only damn near person. I mean, Superman got his ass kicked a couple times, but for a man, ain't no man ever beat him. Superman got his ass whooped by Batman. Now, he put the paws on that nigga, and that shit was raw. Like, you know what I mean? And even that movie, if you haven't seen it, the cartoon version. The other versions, I don't know what they do with this that I seen a new movie with the Dark Knight versus Superman shit. It was alright. It was alright. I ain't gonna stunt. They put that element of the Batman movie into the Superman movie and combined them. But that cartoon is where it's at. If you don't see the cartoon, you don't understand the storyline completely. Because Batman wasn't just beating him up just to beat him up. He was trying to like stop this guy. He was like, "Yo, bro, like, well, yeah, we know you're a good guy. Yeah, we know you got all these powers and shit. And yeah. But he had to G check this nigga real quick. Like, yo, bro, if shit ever gets like, you're just a brute. You're Superman. You're smart. You know things. You invent. You're a brute. You know a fucking billion different fighting moves. Yet all you do is throw haymakers at people." Jabs and haymakers. This nigga know Superman knows every combat on Earth. All of them. He can study, and it's all he's ever done. So Superman knows every technique of every combat and ancient combats. Because if you think he's not going to study ancient shit, come on, he's Superman. Now, he is so like super smart that he literally went and made up his own Superman combat. Most people don't know this. And have you ever fucking seen him use it? No. He's throwing haymakers like Clubber Lane out there. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, that shit always baffled my mind. And anyway, Superman was trying to like stop him because he has all like the Spider-Man quote, great power, he has unlimited power, comes unlimited responsibility. And in one of the cartoons, the Joker figured he's gonna use Superman's Christ-like mentality against him. Because he knew Batman would never kill, because Batman's a man. Batman knows the reality of killing, and he walks that shit. He don't talk that shit. He throws himself out in danger every night where people are gonna kill him, and he beats them the fuck down. He could kill them easily. I mean, in a couple of those movies, he was killing niggas. I don't care what nobody say. But the Joker figured out, like, I can't defeat Batman because all I want Batman to do is break his rule and kill me or kill anybody. I don't care who he kills. As long as I get him to kill, I win, because then Batman is not Batman. He lives by his code. Now, Superman lives by his code too. Never kill anybody. But Superman holds back. He has all that power. He can end shit. He can solve a lot of problems, but he doesn't. And the Joker knows this, and the Joker used it against him, found out he was who he was, and figured out, oh, you love Lois Lane. Okay, well, since you're super strong and nobody can actually kill you, and, you know, Joker's a genius, he said, well, you're a big brute, and you think you're smart, but I got something for you, dog. So he did some, I think he had a spell put on him or something. I forget the cartoon exactly, but I know Superman's susceptible to magic. It's the only thing that can hurt Superman besides kryptonite is magic. So he just had a spell put on him and made Lois and Superman's kid look like a bad guy attacking him. And then it made like a mirage or something of them attacking Lois, and like it was just weird. He seen bad visions that made him attack them. He's thinking he's fighting against these supervillains, but he's literally beating and pummeling his child and Lois Lane to death. He holds back the blows, but he's Superman. When you think you're fighting Juggernaut, you hit with the strength of a tank, not the force of a mountain. But can Lois take the strength of a tank? No. So as he pummels his own family to death, the spell wears off, and Superman realized what he did. And when he realized what he did, he got really, really mad because he's been doing all this self-control and he don't hurt nobody thing and all of that. And when he got tricked, and he killed his own family. And that drove Superman completely insane. And Superman decided to take revenge. And he said, I'm starting with the Joker. So Joker gave himself up. He went to jail because he knew what time it was. He knew. And he went to jail. Superman breaks through the fucking ceiling, picks him up. Batman busts through the door like, chill, dog, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't cross that. And he punches through this nigga's chest and rips his fucking heart out and lets him die. So when he finally did his un-Christ-like thing, it made him snap. And now he didn't want to be the son of God anymore. He realized, I have all this power, no one can stop me, so I must be God. And now I'm going to enforce my power on all of you. And if I catch anybody sinning, death. Or prison forever. So Mac Superman turns the whole world into like fucking a big jail. And all rules are enforced. And, you know, that's it. And I think it ends with like Batman fucking having like a super team and they go fucking plead with him or fight him. Who cares? All I know is anyone can go rogue. And so that leads me back to this video. Hope I got enough time. I seen something like this a while ago. Cause like I said, I was thinking about like superhero stories like the Batman and all of that different shit. And I thought of this video and I type it in. I wanted to see if the video was still there. And I was like, let me look at that again because that was a crazy ass video. And I wonder what I would think when I see it now. Because when I first seen it, I was like, nah, that's impossible. But it sounded good.
What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another theory with your host, as always, K-Mac Time. Now, today we have a very interesting theory on Batman the Dark Knight, saying the Joker is actually the hero of those movies. And when I first read this, I was like, that can't make any sense. But then I read it, and it makes actually a good amount of sense and made me think about this movie in a whole new light. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into this theory. Now, although the Joker is a lying psychopath, he is actually the hero of the Dark Knight, according to this theory. Now, before the Joker, Gotham was a mess. The entire sections of the city were closed off due to madness, organized crime ran rampant, and the majority of the city officials were wildly corrupt. The city tolerated a renegade vigilante who ran around wearing a rubber suit. And then along comes the Joker, and by the end of this movie, all organized crime has been eliminated. Many corrupt officials were either imprisoned or dead, and the city's vigilante went into hiding for 8 years. This was all part of the Joker's masterful plan. Now, the thing that everyone must realize about the Joker is that despite his claims otherwise, he really is the man with the plan throughout this entire film. The very first thing we see the Joker do is rob a mafia-controlled bank, eliminating the entire team of expert bank robbers who helped him pull it off. Of course, the robbery wasn't about the money, it's about luring Luau out of hiding, preferably with all the major crime families' collective money. This works beautifully as the Joker predicts Batman goes to Hong Kong to extradite Luau. Now that Luau is in a safe place, which the Joker can amazingly access with ease. This, of course, is just the plot of the film, but Joker's playing it amazingly, murdering key criminals and corrupt officials that could help insulate those at the top. Now, at this point in the movie, we honestly have three men battling for Gotham's quote-unquote soul, as the Joker puts it, but Dent and Wayne are simply playing into the Joker's greater plan. This even extends to the Joker's threats to destroy a hospital. With Batman and Gordon's help, the Joker helps them rout out corruption and the police officials that were corrupt. Dent even kills some of these officers later in the film. Gordon's promotion, too, did a major service to Gotham. Think about it like this. The Joker's clapping during Gordon's promotion scene is supposed to seem sarcastic, but really, Joker just believes that Gordon is one of the few officers on the force who is truly uncorruptible and will be a good officer. So by this point in the film, the Joker has a pretty clear path to get rid of organized crime problem and the corrupted officials problem, but the vigilante problem still remains. As we saw in the beginning of the film, Batman was
Wow, I'm thinking about that last scene I played with in that last video when the Joker was in it getting beat up by Batman. He said, well, we gonna play good cop, bad cop? And he called Commissioner Gordon the good cop and Batman the bad cop.
Inspiring other vigilantes, and society cannot stand when each man takes his own justice into his own hands. This symbol of fear and unbridled vigilance, as the Joker sees it, needs to be stopped. Not killed, but stopped. If he were killed, he would just become a martyr and his symbol would live on. Of course, since Dent was a far better symbol for the city, he would be a far better martyr, as we all know. Now, I don't really know if the Joker actually intended for Harvey to be so physically scarred by the explosion from which Batman saved him, but it is certain that he wanted Harvey to feel the full pain of Rachel's death, which is why he purposely tells Batman to go to the wrong address. He knows that what Rachel's death would do to Harvey psychologically, and that Batman would eventually have no choice but to kill Harvey. This breaks Batman psychologically and also makes him a villain, a true villain, the kind of villain that abandons his own principles. Batman now has no choice but to disappear, leaving his memory to fade into something of an urban legend by the time of The Dark Knight Rises. Now, when we pick up with the story in the next film, we see a defeated Bruce Wayne who has been retired for 8 years. Yet the city was safe and peaceful. Yes, until Bane showed up. But it shows that the city didn't need a constant vigilante to keep them safe. The Joker shows Batman the error of his ways, but does so in a totally devastating way. And now by the end of the film, Gotham is actually clean, and it wasn't because of Harvey, who died too soon to do any good, except maybe become a martyr, and it wasn't because of Batman either. Gotham was safe because the Joker had cleaned up the streets. He eliminated the corrupt police, he destroyed organized crime financially, and uplifted Gotham's spirit. He even got rid of the flying pest that had been corrupting Gotham ever since he declared himself its protector. Now that, in my eyes, makes the Joker the actual hero of the movie, and it blew my mind when I read this theory. I want to thank...
Hi. You know, I don't want there to be any hard feelings between us, Harvey. When you and, Rachel were being abducted, I was sitting in Gordon's cage. Now, I didn't rig those charges.
Your man, your plan.
Do I really look like a guy with a plan? You know what I am? I'm a dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know what to do with one if I caught it. You know, I just do things. The mob has plans. The cops have plans. Gordon's got plans. You know, they're schemers. Schemers trying to control their little worlds. I'm not a schemer. I try to show the schemers how pathetic their attempts to control things really are. So, when I say, come here, when I say that you and your girlfriend was nothing personal, you know that I'm telling the truth.
I'm gonna need your weapon.
What? Why? Because my wife's in the hospital.
Yeah, that would be why.
It's the schemers that put you where you are. You were a schemer, you had plans, and look where that got you.
Police, of course, are taking every possible precaution and urging everyone not to take matters into their own hands.
I just did what I do best. I took your little plan and I turned it on itself. Look what I did to this city with a few drums of gas and a couple of bullets. You know what I noticed? Nobody panics when things go according to plan. Even if the plan is horrifying. If tomorrow I tell the press that like a gangbanger will get shot, or a truckload of soldiers will be blowing up, nobody panics. Because it's all part of the plan. But when I say that one little old mare will die, well, then everyone loses their minds. Introduce a little anarchy. Upset the established order, and everything becomes chaos. I'm an agent of chaos. Oh, and you know the thing about chaos? It's fair.
Oh, you mean living by rules is not fair? You mean working out is not fair? You mean life is not fair, but chaos is fair? I wonder why I love the Lord and His rules. Oh, yeah. Because it teaches you to stop crying about shit is not fair. Because life's not fair. Being a man is not fair. Being a woman is not fair. Being a child is not fair. Some things are supposed to be hard. And, you know, it's whatever. Like, for me, I get the concept of what the Joker's the good guy. The movie did end the way the guy said, like, all those people were gone and fucking. But the way he did it is the most sinful shit I've ever seen in my life. Like, honestly, like, really think about that. This fucking nutcase caught all those bodies to free all those people. And then he's gonna die, and then he's gonna probably cook. That's fucking stupid. Because you're not eliminating the problem. Gotham's problem was corruption. The people that were corrupt probably were good when they, were kids too. They were good. And then, the unfairness happened. Like, so it's like there ain't no violence only begets violence. I wonder where I learned that. Oh yeah, the Bible. I'm going back to sleep. See you guys next time.